I met some of the tea plantations workers recently, and what surprised me was how selfish we can be as a community, right? As humans. I mean, we don't do this consciously most of the time. We are unconscious about the whole connection and the consequences of our actions. That's why we become unconsciously selfish. That's how I perceive it. More empathetic way. They are the people who are the behind the teacup, right? Every day we drink tea, and these people are working very hard for us to drink our morning tea, evening tea, or whatever the tea we are consuming, right? But most of the people, when I spoke to them, what I realized is monthly the amount they receive as the salary, as the wage, is less than 34,000 oftentimes. And they work more than 25 days per month. 25 days is the minimum. That's what they shared with me, right? Majority of the workforce, it's women, and they start before sunrise and they work, they pluck tea leaves under sun or rain, no matter what. And in 2024 the daily wage is 1350, and these workers and those representative of these workers have been trying to have a proper communication with the government in order to find a solution. What they said was, when I was speaking to them, they wanted to increase it into 2000, they from 1350. I mean, for some this can seem like a very small thing, because we actually, most of us don't understand um, the depth of these stories and requirements of these marginalized communities, and it's really important to give them the respect for the things they do for us, right? We see most of the time the housing is often cramped and outdated. The medical access is limited in those areas, and we see children leaving schools early to support their families. So, as humans, I feel like at the end of the day, for the long run, this is affecting all of us, right? So it's really important to have this conversation. I was just listening to them, and what I got to know was tea exports earn USD 1 point I can't read my own writing, hold on, 1.4 for what I have written, yeah, 1.43 billion in 2024. It is basically the 90% of the Sri Lankan exports, and they have covered it, right? And even in 2025 it was 370 million in the first quarter, and it was the highest export earning over a decade, right? So it has kept reaching higher and higher when it's come to earning substantial revenues in this industry. And but this profit do not reach the workers who made it possible. That's the problem, right? Do I make sense? I mean, we have different perspectives. So, perspective of a worker is they are fighting for fair wages, and it's the basic dignity, right? I mean, it's so unfair what they are facing. And companies, they are trying to manage cost and global market pressures. And government, they are overseeing the wages and labor rights, but progress is very slow. I mean, I feel like as people, we have to be very ethical when it's come to our communications. Whenever they are having a meeting, these are like basic things. They don't show up. If you know, they don't show up for these meetings. It's really important to have these conversations to protect what we have, the resources we have, right? And that's what I feel. We have to be more ethical when it's come to our day-to-day work. And as a society, I feel like it's important to raise awareness and advocate for fair solutions. This is not passing the ball, because at the end of the day the ball is going to come back right at us, right? So it's really important to find the solutions together. It's important to be transparent with these wage linkages, and because this is the cost of living of those people who are working really hard to survive. I mean, they help us to survive, and it's really important that they are getting better housing, healthcare, educational supports. And then it's really important to have the dialogues. And what I see is, they don't, these communities, workers, companies, government, societies, they don't communicate properly. So just let me know, what do you think about this problem? What do you think, what are the solutions you see in this problem, and what are the ethical trade models we can incorporate to ensure that these people are sharing the profit, right? I don't know, maybe it will help me to improve my understanding about this problem as well. Thank you for listening.